Jesus Christ. Most people think he is a religious figure. He is, but he is also a historical one. His life and influence has changed the world. Him and his religion changed the world religiously, academically, scientifically, civil rights, cultural, world borders, linguistics, philosophy, exploration, and daily life aspects.
I'm going to first go back and realize that obviously Jesus Christ was the most important person in his millennium.
In this documentary, we will explain how his life and presence in our world and the religion he established was the biggest turning point in history.
Many of you may think Jesus is not real, but in looking into the ancient Jewish historian Josephus, he had claimed that Jesus was a real man and had died on a cross on the hills of Calvary. Jesus' followers had recorded and written down his life story. They said he was born in the town of Bethlehem in modern-day Israel, Palestine. He was said to have performed miracles, preach about the Jewish God, and claimed to be God. Then he was crucified on a cross for his teachings. If you don't know how painful crucifixion is, it's where we get the word excruciating.
He was buried in a tomb and, according to his followers, was resurrected after 3 days.
His followers or apostles were sent around the world to spread the news about their Messiah. This, to some people, was the start of Christianity. Jesus' apostles were so willing to die for their faith, so Jesus' message was very strong. It spread like wildfire across the Roman Empire and soon became that empire's official religion. By the Emperor Constantine in 313 AD, the papacy was established and all was well until the year 1054 AD, when the Catholic faith and the Orthodox faith split into two churches.
Then history kept repeating itself in the Protestant Reformation. There are new countless Christian denominations everywhere, and the religion keeps growing, beating out every other religion in terms of population, and a whopping 2.38 billion people.
What some people need to understand is that there is a big difference in between actually believing in what Jesus taught and understanding that what he taught influenced all of history.
The spread of Christianity was a large turning point in religion. Before Jesus, mass polytheism was the norm, except for the Jews and Zoroasters. After his apostles spread their new religion everywhere, monotheism was the biggest religion type in the entire Roman Empire. Christians came up with the idea of reformation, denominations, and established church hierarchies.
It is a common misconception that Christianity and the church had halted scientific progress in history. This is false information. In reality, the religion had contributed a lot more to scientific studies than most of the public attributes them to. There are countless scientists such as Sir Isaac Newton, Galileo, Copernicus, Johannes Kepler, and the famous Leonardo da Vinci. All were Christian scientific pioneers that changed the world we live in today. All of these scientists were influenced by their faith. They believed that an all-powerful, omnipotent God created the universe and that they had to find out this universe's secrets. This is where they came up with modern science. The modern scientific method was made by Christian scientists. The printing press, which changed the world in many ways, was invented by Johannes Gutenberg, a proud Christian. There were so many other important inventions made by Christians. It would take another 10-minute documentary to explain. Christianity truly changed the way science was done forever.
There is no doubt that Christianity changed the world in many ways. The way you live your own life is influenced by it. Many Christians attend church and try to evangelize their religion. This is something that 1/4 of the Earth's entire population does. The modern calendar system is from the Pope Gregory XIII, the leader of a Christian denomination. Christians also make many charitable organizations, hospitals, and made the restaurant Chick-fil-A. Christians especially work on the poor. They contribute massive civil services to the forgotten ones in society, whether it be aid to refugees of war or simple soup kitchen. Christians also gave us the concept of holidays. Almost any holiday that you celebrate, if you're non-religious, is a Christian holiday. Christmas, Easter, St. Patrick's Day, St. Valentine's, and Thanksgiving are all Christian concepts. The concept of the middle class was created by Christians. It was the Christian movement that first strongly emphasized that everyone should be required to work, because it's dignified and created by God for everyone. Before Christianity, there wasn't really a middle class, only a harsh laboring class, and the lavish and wealthy trading class, along with the royalty. Finally, the foundation of our nation is built on Christianity. The Declaration of Independence has a direct link with Christian influence in many ways. Nowhere has there been a better example of liberty and justice than in the United States of America, and this is because America was founded on Christian principles. Even our founding fathers were loyal Christian men. It was Jesus who emphasized the importance and significance of the individual person, and that freedom and rights is the concept that God values every person.
It may not be a surprise that Christians also changed the way people thought. In the Middle Ages and the Renaissance eras, many great thinkers looked back to ancient Greece and the great ancient philosophers. They had adapted their ideas and made new, intriguing thoughts. One great Christian philosophy is the immense love for wisdom. Many books in the Bible describe wisdom as a woman that we should strive to marry. Another great philosophy was made by St. Augustine. An early church father claimed that the division between the body and soul, that the soul was more real than the body. He also believed that truth, goodness, and beauty and eternal are in the mind of God that will never fall.
Many of you may think that Christianity halted rights, but in reality, Christians were the first to come up with civil rights. Though some Christians did use their faith to justify unfair acts such as slavery or segregation, but it was also Christians who ended these unfair acts. The great Martin Luther King Jr. was a Baptist preacher who taught about his religion and equal rights between all of God's children. King felt that Jesus served as the ultimate inspiration behind a violence-free movement. In referencing Jesus' use of the line, "Love your enemies," King explained, "If you hate your enemies, you have no way to redeem and to transform your enemies."
There was also Bartolomé de las Casas, a Spanish Catholic priest who condemned the slave trade and thought all peoples were human. He tried to help free slaves everywhere. This idea was hundreds of years before his time. Christianity also raised higher dignity and rights for women. Jesus himself was known to include women in his ministries and call them to be his disciples. The early Christian church said that no gender was subordinate to another, and that each gender had an important role to play in daily life.
If not for Christianity, then we wouldn't even have the alphabet or the language we speak. If the church never existed, then the spread of the Latin alphabet and the Latin languages wouldn't have happened. Neither in the East would there be the spread of the Slavic languages, and the Cyrillic alphabet would never exist. Thus, the spread of literacy would never occur. Our world wouldn't be recognizable to the one today.
Christianity has been changing exploration from its birth. They influenced it in many ways. The church set up Christian missions to convert people who weren't Christians to Christianity. The church also started a major effort to spread the Christianity throughout the world. Spiritual motivations also justified European conquest of foreign lands. The entire point of exploring for some European Christians was to spread their religion. The start of Christianity was with the apostles. They spread all around the world from Iberia to India just to talk about their religion. The great explorer Christopher Columbus, who discovered an entirely new inhabited world, started the colonization of the Americas. Truly, Christianity has changed the way we see the world.
Wars shape borders. Christians have made wars. The modern map we look at today wouldn't be the same without Christianity. The conflicts in the Middle East are because of the thousands of years of clashing beliefs that the Christians have participated in. The wars such as the Crusades mainly took place in the Holy Land and shaped culture in the area. Christians have decided the borders and the continents of Africa and Asia by colonization. Christians have decided the fate of many peoples in history, whether for better or for worse. This religion made the entire world what it is today. We believe that this is the biggest turning point in history.